Introduction to my Sovereign series. I want to start by being very clear about why I'm doing this, and what this is. Most people don't need to be convinced that something is wrong anymore. They can see it, they can feel it, and they're not imagining it. Decisions are being made that benefit the powerful at the expense of ordinary people. Education has been hollowed out. Local voices have been overridden, and rules keep multiplying while accountability disappears. Calling that a conspiracy used to be a way to shut people up. Now it's becoming a way to avoid facing accountability. So, I'm not going to insult you by pretending we're dealing with a misunderstanding or a few bad actors. What we're facing is systemic, and it developed over time. It was enabled by law, language, and silence. And yes, much of it was deliberate. I understand why burn it to the ground feels reasonable right now. I live with that feeling too, and have for most of my life. I've questioned authority since I was a child, and my first question has always been the same. By what authority? That question eventually led me to study the Constitution, law, and politics, not as theory, but as lived structure. To watch how power actually moves, to see where authority stays within its limits, and where it quietly steps outside of them. What I've learned is this. A lot of what we're living under today isn't just questionable. It's unlawful on its face because power consolidated while people were intentionally not taught to track it. And worse, not allowed the place and time to track it. That's part of it. Keep them too busy, too distracted. We're all sitting on the struggle bus now, and we're becoming reactionary. That matters, because while collapse sounds tempting, history is brutally honest about what comes next. When systems fall apart, what rises to replace them is rarely better. Vacuums favor the most organized, the most ruthless, and the well-funded, not the just, and this is the line I refuse to cross. The frame is still solid, the Constitution, the structure of limited government, the idea that authority is supposed to be constrained and rooted in the people. That did not fail. What failed was the house built around it, layer by layer, until we drifted so far off center that most people no longer recognize the framework holding everything up. So this is the Sovereign series. Here, sovereignty means the capacity for self-governance, grounded in understanding, responsibility, and shared accountability. The purpose of this series is simple but not easy: to take the original intent behind our founding principles and translate that intent into the modern world we're actually living in, one real issue at a time. This will not be a walk in the park. There is real work to do here, and the first step, the one we cannot skip, is understanding the language of law, because power doesn't respond to outrage. It responds to definitions, jurisdiction, and process. Next time, we'll begin with the proper language of law itself. We'll start by breaking down legalese, what it is, how legal meanings were separated from everyday language, and how that separation helped move power out of the hands of the people without most of us realizing it. Later in the series, we'll confront the scale of what's been taken, how it happened, and why it felt invisible while it was happening. But we start with clarity, because we don't win by burning it down. We win by understanding how it was meant to work, and standing together within that framework with clear eyes, stable and grounded. Knowledge is the strongest defense ordinary people have against concentrated power, and it's what concentrated power fears most. The more you learn about law and politics, the more you'll recognize the mechanisms, the more you'll see the patterns, and you'll see how everything currently going on is not likely to play out to our advantage if we don't learn how to take back the reins.